Hello dear friends, this is Mr. Sanjay Kuwar. I once again welcome you all for learning 6th standard English subject. Now we are going to learn lesson number 2nd, Who's the Greatest? Dear friends, we like stories. We like to listen, read and watch the different stories. There are famous stories of Mullah Nasruddin, Tenali Raman, Gopal Band, etc. in the world. They are very famous. Along with them, there are the stories of Emperor Akbar and Birbal. We like to listen, read and watch such all the stories. Dear friends, now in this video we are going to learn the two stories of Emperor Akbar and Birbal. So let's begin. First we will take some information about Emperor Akbar. Emperor Akbar is considered as one of the greatest rulers in the world. He had a vast empire, a very strong army and untold wealth. Untold means incalculable. Above than these things, he was also a very good human being. That's why he is considered as one of the greatest rulers in the world. Not only because of his wealth, empire and his strong army, only because of he was a good human being. He also took care of his subject very well. He had a great respect for all the people in his court and in his kingdom. Those were scholars, writers, poets and artists, and these all people belongs to the different religions. Emperor Akbar was called a patron of art and culture. It means that a man who supports, encourages art and culture. So Emperor Akbar was supporting, encouraging art and culture in his kingdom. There were 9 gems very famous in his court. 9 gems means Navratnas. And among all these 9 gems or the Navratnas, people believed that Birbal was very close to the emperor's heart. Closest to the emperor's heart. It's a phrase. It means that very dear to emperor. So dear friends, Birbal was very dear and near to Emperor Akbar. Emperor liked all these people very much. He liked to ask interesting questions or problems in his court. And Birbal never failed to come up with equally interesting answers. Dear friends, we don't know that whether all these stories of Emperor Akbar and Birbal they have any basis in history, but these all the stories are passed on from one generation to another by word of mouth. So now let's begin to learn the first story. The name of the first story is Emperor's Mustache. Let's begin it. One day, Emperor came into the court with a very serious expression on his face. He was little in tension. As soon as he seated on his throne, he said, I have a question for all of you. What should be the punishment for someone who pulls my mustache? When all the courtiers, all the people in the court heard this, they were all stunned. Stunned means shocked or surprised. Pull the emperor's mustache? It was not heard by anybody else before. So they were all shocked. Then one after another all started to suggest what Emperor Akbar should do for that. What shall be the punishment given to such a person who pulls his mustache? So all the courtiers one by one they were suggesting what the emperor should do for that, or what punishment should be given to that person. One nobleman said, "Flog him, give him 50 lashes of whip." Flog him means hit him, or that person should be given 50 lashes. Lashes, hits, or the blows. The next one says that that's not enough. Put him in the jail without water and food. In this way, one after other, they were suggesting what punishment should be given to the person who had pulled his mustache. Dear friends, all the courtiers in the court, they were very much angry. They were telling the emperor to take action. They were telling different punishments to that person who had committed the crime. One of the noble courtier once again said that whip him, beat him up. Not only this, hang him or cut off his offending hands. Such a way they were expressing their ideas and thoughts. But on the other hand, Raja Birbal was not telling anything. He was silent. Then Emperor Akbar went near to him and told, "What do you say, Birbal? What's your opinion?" When Raja Birbal saw that all were suggesting such a different punishments, he was even little smiling. Then at last Birbal replied, "In my opinion, O giver of peace to the world, the offender should be given his favorite sweetmeats." So dear friends, Birbal suggested sweetmeats to the offender. He told that the person who had committed crime, that should be given his favorite sweetmeats. When all the courtiers heard this, they once again become very angry and they started to shout at Birbal. They were telling, "Raja Birbal, are you out of mind? Are you mad? Give sweetmeats for such a grave offense?" They were very much angry. Grave offense, it means serious crime. Here they were telling that, "Are you mad? Why are you suggesting to give the sweet items to such a person?" Then Birbal started to explain why that person should be given the sweetmeats or the sweet items. He started telling, "Yes, who would be so bold as to pull the emperor's mustache? Only his own grandson." In this way, at last Birbal made it clear why that offender should be given the sweetmeats. Because who had the courage to touch and pull the mustache of the emperor? And that person is none other than his own grandson, the emperor's own grandson. When Emperor Akbar heard this, he started bursting out. To burst out means to start suddenly laughing. And why he started laughing? Because he knew it very well that the exact thing what happened in the morning. From this story, we learn that we should be always kind towards others. At the same time, we also learn that we should be always clever enough, wise enough to solve our problems. Now dear friends, let us learn the second story which is given in this lesson. the name of the story is Who's the Greatest. One day, Emperor Akbar was relaxing in the court with some of his courtiers. So, some of these courtiers thought that now this is a good opportunity for them to take the favor of their king. They wanted to utilize this opportunity to get the favor of their king. They wanted to shower the praise on the emperor. So they began to praise their king. One nobleman said, "You are the greatest of the kings." The next one was ready for praising the emperor. He said, "You are the greatest of the kings or emperors that ever lived on the earth." In this way, one after another, all the courtiers, they were praising and getting the favor of their king. Emperor Akbar was listening them very silently. He was not giving any reply. Now it was the turn of the next courtier. He said, "You are the greatest of all the people in heaven or earth." Up to this, it was okay. But next onwards, the courtiers who came and told the false praise, it was not okay. After that, they had crossed their limits. They started to praise their king wrongly. So the next courtier came and said, "You are as great as God Almighty." Not only this, the another one said that you are greater than the God Almighty. Now, Emperor Akbar was not a fool. He was very wise and clever king. He was taking care his subject very well. Now, he asked them to stop praising their king. And he asked them, and he said, "Do you believe also?" He was making sure that, "Do you believe that I am greater than God Almighty?" They all answered in one voice, "Yes, we all believe that you are greater than God Almighty." Then the emperor replied, "All right, then prove it to me. Tell me at least one thing which I can do, but God could not. Otherwise, you will be punished. You have to leave the court forever. This will be your punishment." Now, after telling this, he went out of the palace. The courtiers were all shocked. They were in proper fix. Improper fix. It's a phrase. It means in a difficult situation. So all the courtiers, they started to think and think, but they didn't come to the conclusion. At the end, they went to meet Birbal. Birbal was the only person where they can find the solution. So they went to him and told the whole story. When Birbal heard their story, he told them not to worry. The next morning, the court was full with all the people and the courtiers. Everyone was very much eager to know what will happen next. The emperor sat on the throne. After sitting on the throne, he said, "Well, have you found a good answer to my question, or are you ready to leave the court forever?" All the courtiers were very much afraid. Just then, Birbal stepped forward and gave respect to the emperor. "Please don't be angry with those who think you are the greatest. there's certainly at least one thing that you can do, but God Almighty cannot. Birbal told the emperor that yes, you are greater than God. Don't be angry with the courtiers, those are with this opinion. At least there is one thing in common that you can do, but God could not. Emperor Akbar asked Birbal, and what is that? Birbal once again started to tell which is that thing. When you want to punish someone, you can banish that person, you can throw him out of your kingdom, but God's kingdom extends everywhere. The Almighty cannot banish anyone from His kingdom. This was the answer to the emperor. Birbal told that God cannot banish anybody else from His kingdom because His kingdom is extended everywhere. The whole universe is made by God. So how can He banish one person from this whole universe to another place? But on the other hand, Emperor Akbar can banish a person from his kingdom to another. When Emperor Akbar heard this, his face lit up. Lit up means become very happy. And after hearing that, he said, "That was very clever, Birbal. While showing how I have an advantage, you have also shown that God is greater. I believe you." Through this, Emperor Akbar understood that he is not greater than God Almighty. At last, he became very happy with the answer of Birbal, and he forgave all the courtiers for their stupidity. Dear friends, in this way, the present story gives us the message that we should forgive the people. But at the same time, the story also makes us aware about the false praise. We should see always that the people should not get advantage of our good nature. Thank you.